Hello, all you cosmic travelers and wanderers. This is Darlene Grift and K. Melissa Waterman, inviting you to join us today in our episode of Expansion from Within, Exploring Multidimensionality.
Let me introduce you to my friend and dear colleague, Darlene Grift. She is a lifetime experiencer, a medical intuitive, and a multidimensional mediator for over 35 years. She's also an author, an artist, a teacher, and a mentor for spiritually invested people.
And K. Melissa Waterman is my friend and colleague, and she's an intuitive mentor, a spiritual teacher. She also works with energy on many levels. In the past, Melissa has worked with Dr. Joe Dispenza on his research team.
Join us on our journey of meeting multidimensional beings, exploring what it means to be human, and expanding our spiritual evolution. Hi, everyone. We're on episode 15. We've already, our second season, we're already 3/4 of the way in. I am impressed. Today, we're going to do another meditation into the white space. But first, Darlene, help us recap what's happened so far in the white space.
We joined the white space, which is different than what we've been doing in the last year and a half. This came up and what they presented us with, because the evolves, as well as the Council of 28 through these many years that I've been working with them, have always provided some sort of metaphor or a visual that they see us as that, or they want us to learn something about ourselves or about them through some kind of visual. In the first part of that, what popped in the white space was, and it is a co-creative space, so it was a ladder and a frog. Their understanding of the frog in relation to each one of us was to choose a frog that represented us. How did that, are you looking at the poisonous dart frogs? Are you looking at the kind, the big bullfrogs? Or, what comes in first, whether that's a visual or just your intuition or a felt sense that, oh, well, that would be the frog that would represent me. And they picked the frog because of the sensitivity of the frog in our environment, and also the sensitivity and the necessity of humans in the environment. So they were very careful to choose what was appropriate in this visual. The ladder is the ladder of humanity or spiritual resilience. We hopped to the first rung and then immediately went to the second rung, which was about comfort. Like, are you really comfortable there? Are you afraid? Are you insecure? And then how to express yourself or how to stretch yourself into the third rung. At the end of that last session that we did, the third rung represented the commitment that we have, or the compassion that we would have for others. How do we contribute to others? No matter how small or big that is. It could be a phone call to somebody. It could be dropping off a dinner. It could be a card. It could be a simple text that says, I'm thinking of you. It does not have to be anything major in contribution, but what that does is it opens us up to a place outside of ourselves.
Yeah, I really enjoyed both of those episodes and doing those meditations. I find it very fulfilling. I really feel like I'm in it and I'm on the rung. I'm hearing, I'm in the white space. And I know that some of our listeners don't have that same experience. Can you say anything about that?
Yeah, because some people are not visual. Like, you're visual, I'm visual. That's how they communicate with me, is auditory and visual and felt sense. But I would say that my visual is my highest access. It's one of my bigger
Attributes.
Thank you. Yes. But those that are not, they're offering this to us. The evolves are offering this for us to expand without judgment. If you're not seeing anything, there's nothing wrong with that. You explained earlier that you feel like you're in it, right? Like you're in the visual, whether you're seeing anything or what, you're in it. So your energy is immersed in the white space. That's all they're looking for, because they will guide us for those that are visual. they will, but you're already getting the energy and the download in some way because you're participating at the level that you can participate in the white space. So on some level, something is happening, whether you're totally aware of it or not, or you can see it, or you can intuit it, or whatever. It's your participation and your willingness to meet them in the white space. That's their significance. Once you're out of the white space, and you take this as an example of the frog in the ladder, if there was something that was given to each one of us in the white space from the evolves that says pay attention to, like I think it was the last one, and I reviewed that to be more contributing. So that was in the next 2 weeks, right? It was from that time that we recorded that, and it would go live. What can you contribute? What, because that's expanding us in some way. So if there was a possibility of them offering something to us, that was one of the things, is to think about how to contribute. And then we can take that out into whether we know that we're a frog, or we've seen the frog, or we don't see the frog, or we don't have anything. What is the piece that you can connect to and move into in your life? Like, how does it relate to your life? Right.
Well, that's interesting, because my dart frog, mine was a dart frog. I have one. I have a little plastic one, a little figurine type thing that I put on my desk, and just have been thinking about the frog, but I don't think I've incorporated it into my life or have any experiences. My sister had a frog show up, and she sent me a picture of a frog, which was like 2 days later. And I took note of that synchronicity of that. She had a frog near her pool, a good old bullfrog, a very, very beautiful, bright green bullfrog. I wasn't able to incorporate the frog necessarily, and the concept of the frog, or the fragility, or the sensitivity is a better word, of the frog into my life. It was an awareness. I'm thinking about the frog. I think the part that I am able to incorporate is my contribution. Is how am I contributing? So that's been my intention, is to keep my focus on contributing. How am I contributing? Can I contribute here? I did end up donating a tiny bit of money to a couple little things, and did a little extra household to contribute to my household, a little more than I would normally do. It brought it to the forefront of my mind so that I could use it as part of my intention. Yeah, I appreciate the things that were given in these meditations for that reason. But that might be the only thing a person experiences. Does that feel right?
Yeah, and there's no right or wrong or comparison to anybody in what you get from the meditations, ourselves to someone else, or that I'm not getting it right, or I don't see anything. Don't get caught in the minutia of what's being in the white space, of who you are as a frog, or I don't see the ladder, or what kind of ladder would it be? Don't get caught in the details as much as what might you take away from the information that's important to your life now. The rest is just some content to hold you into the meditation.
Right. I believe that some people are probably going to just listen to it. They're not going to meditate. Even the listening, in my opinion, is that just that there's a frequency to what the evolves are bringing that is impactful, and that even listening brings something to the human, brings something to us. Meditating and being involved might bring a little bit more, but it's never not enough.
Correct. You show up, whether you're listening or you're visualizing or you're meditating or you're whatever, you showed up. So you're sharing energy. You're raising your frequency in some way because you're working in the white space, or you're listening in the white space, or whatever that is. Like there's that relationship to whatever's being talked about, that whether your ears are hearing it or your eyes are seeing it or your body's feeling it, it doesn't really matter at what level.
Right. Well, I hope that's reassuring to our listeners, because it's just about the frequency and about our willingness, and it's about our intention. Those are the most important things.
Right. And it's how they work. I'm used to it after all these years, but others may not be, and that's okay.
Right. Shall we begin?
Sure.
All right, let me make an announcement. This is a meditation. We are about to begin a meditation. Please don't do this while driving. Have some water nearby. It's really good to hydrate during this. You may even be asked to hydrate while we're in the middle of this, and happy sailing.
Okay, so let's take a deep breath in. And we're going to create a sacred space first in inviting in all our multidimensional selves, those that are aligned with the messages from the evolves, masters and teachers, the angelic, whoever is in the space and the time that is welcomed, and that we welcome them in a deeper understanding of bringing them forward of who we are as multidimensional beings. And so as we open that space and we invite them in, we put up the dome of protection, which is really just around us, so that in this sacred space, when we go into the white space, we have something that is a border, a boundary that we can work within. So as we start in our heart space, you can put your hand on your heart space for those that are meditating. Taking a deep breath in, letting go of anything that you may be holding on to today that is in your field, that is not coherent to where you want to be, and letting go of that, letting it wash through you and over you as you take another deep breath in. And bringing that energy down to your solar plexus, right below your rib cage, opening that place up. This is your central channel, bringing that energy down into your second chakra and into your base chakra, so that that energy is fully open, available. And as we're taking this energy, what we're doing with this is we're moving down into Mother Earth, and we're bringing her energy back up. We're bringing her heart back up. We're bringing our connection to her as our mother, as our resource, as the love that she has for us. So as we take that energy down through our thighs and our knees and our calves and our ankles and our feet, and we leave the bottom of our feet in the form of roots. So this energy is leaving our body in roots, and it's looking and it's going through the bedrock, and it's going through the rich soil that we have below us. And we're in appreciation and gratitude for all those that lie beneath us, for our ancestors that have come before us, that have given the value in our life that we have brought forward through our genetic embodiment. And as we bring our roots down, whether that's singularly or you start to see roots combining with other people's roots, looking and searching for Mother Earth's heart, for the core of who she is. And as we keep moving in that desire and that will and that intention, and we see that heart ahead of us, we feel her heartbeat, we feel the resonance of who she is and what she is and how she's contributed to all of us and the health and well-being that she offers. And as we wrap our roots around her, together, collectively, singly, we want to take a deep breath in and bring that energy back up through our roots. We are co-creating with Mother Earth. We are bringing her forward into the white space with us. So as we bring that energy up through the roots, sucking that up with each breath that we bring in, bringing it up through the crystal caves that cleanse our waters on this earth, bringing it up through the bedrock, bringing it up through all those that have existed before us, coming up further and further, looking forward to and vibrating to the level of wanting to participate as it comes through the bottom of our feet, through that root system, up through our ankles and our calves and our knees and our thighs, And as it enters the bottom of our base chakra, that is fully dilated, fully open, ready and willing to accept and allow, move into that second chakra, which is orange, and anything you want to let go of, anything you want to move through you around counterclockwise, bringing that in and around. And so you are moving through that, and as it comes full circle, breathe into the solar plexus, opening that space again, and into the heart space, which is bright spring green. Anything that you want to let go of that is in the past or the future or the present, that would have to do with you longing for love, for you feeling incomplete around love, relationships, anything that you've done to harm others, anything that you've felt in yourself about not loving yourself, to take that full circle counterclockwise in releasing it, in healing it, in moving it through that energy to come back full circle. And at this time, we are opening ourselves up into the throat chakra. Throat chakra is expanded. That's the place that we tell our truth from, moving into our third eye. This is bright purple. Any doubts that you have about yourself as a spiritual being, that you're not enough, that you can't possibly be good enough? What does it matter what you do or how you do? You can't find your purpose. Take all of that negativity, all of that doubt, and take it full circle around counterclockwise. And as it comes healed back to you in an energized way, move it through your third eye and open up your crown chakra. And as this central channel is now clear and clean and moving through, that energy from Mother Earth, that energy that is coming straight up through you, leave the crown chakra. And the portal that exists maybe 2 feet, foot to 2 feet above your head, that portal that moves us right into the white space, that white space of creativity, co-creativity, neutrality, the place where it is part of the field, but that portal is open. It is pulsating. It's ready and willing to embrace us, to invite us in, to include us, to heal us. And as we step through that portal into this expansive, brilliant white that is very soft, it's never ending. And we blend in with that white space, and yet we can feel the vibration, we can feel the frequency, we can feel our participation in it and our inclusion in it and our welcomeness in it. So as I enter this white space in the visual that they have provided for all of us, there is a lot of laughter. I don't see who is laughing, but there's various frequencies of laughter. And there's many frogs jumping around, so that I don't even see there's empty ladders and lots of frogs jumping around. They're jumping on each other, they're jumping over each other. There's a lot of joy in some way that they're showing us of these frogs and how they are participating with each other. So they are saying that about this particular place that they see or want to see for humanity is that place of joy and freedom and connection, where we are more out of our head space and we are into our physical form. where we are creating and co-creating, where we are communicating in a way not about the harshness and the chaos that we might be living in, but about the joy and the love that we may have for each other. And that what might you know in that? Are you creating that in your life? Are you participating at the level of balance? So that as you're climbing this ladder, this frequency ladder, this spiritual resilience ladder, are you also taking the time for yourself to have joy and love? That was part of the assignment in our last session, is for contribution, not from a place of obligation, but a contribution from a place of your heart space. Agreed?
Yes.
And so as we participate at this level where we are a joyous, abundant joy that we have with each other, and that when it is time for the celebration and the joy and the love to do something else, then ladders appear and frogs croak at each other in ways of appreciation, gratitude, love, connection. And we continue on the third rung. So they are saying we have come a long way, though we may not feel that we have in this particular session of what you have contributed to others in your life, in your real life. It has brought joy and hope to others. And for you to keep that up in a deeper understanding of what it means to be human and what you can bring to others through simple listening, giving them value, feeling like they are worth being heard. And whether you choose to stay in that contribution place and not proceed further up the rung, that will be strictly your choice. But we offer you now to go from that third rung to the fourth with one swift hop, in knowing that there's a secure foundation below you. That foundation is your heart space being open, where you see things from a different perspective, where you have seen and contributed and know the value of who you are, because others are reflecting back to you how you've given them something that maybe they didn't know or they didn't feel, or they are deeply so appreciative of anything that you have given them. And that is your foundation. Your heart space as a species is the grounding tool that we all look for as multidimensionals, not only for you, but for all species. So on this fourth rung, this is your time to bring in another part of you, to continue up the ladder. That part of you is your spiritual part of you. That part of you that once that heart space is open can be more contributing to you. Understood?
Yes.
That spiritual place of who you are and how you resonate in the multidimensional space, in the frequencies of having a higher consciousness. You may call it your higher self. Bringing that part in so that as you lift yourself up to each one of these rungs, that as we participate in coming up the ladder, that you have a companion, that you have that spiritual part of yourself that is right with you, that gives you the courage, that gives you the willingness, that you are totally aligned with. And as we bring that, as we offer that, as we part the veil, the curtains, the veil that is part of your energy field to invite in that higher frequency of who you are, that if you could reach your hand through that veil, if you could touch that other part of you, if you could feel into it, blend with, invite in, what is your agreement? What do you need your higher self for? Why will they be helpful? Asking those questions in this moment, bringing them forward, giving them a helping hand that says, I want you, I love you, I want you to be part of my experience. And if there is any blockages, if there is any hindrances, if there's an intuitive part that you sense that this isn't so easy, or that you feel fearful, or that you're concerned, or that you doubt, it is your time to let that go. To picture the white space, just taking that away as if there was a white fog that just went over all of those doubts and those places that are holding or resisting this invitation, those places that you may doubt yourself, or I'm not worthy, or I'm not getting it, or this can't be true, or I don't need this, or I'm done, or whatever those negative thoughts are, whether they are yours or someone else's that has been put on you. Let the white space take that away. Let the white space move in as if they don't exist. And so that portal, that energy, that place that we have just parted for you, you have free access to bring in that higher self. And in doing so, in including that part of you, and when you are standing side by side in front of each other, when you can make eye contact, when you can hold hands, when you can see who you are at a higher vibration, what do you know about you? For this part of you has always been with you, whether you denied it or hid it, whether it was felt like it was taken from you, whether you abandoned it in the past. This spiritual part of you that is helping you up the rungs of what it takes to be more human, to take what it takes to have more spiritual resilience. Using that figure 8, that lazy figure 8, that infinity symbol to connect yourself from heart to that future part of you, or that higher self part of you. Ties you together for you to utilize in whatever capacity that you choose moving forward. Asking for that part of you on a daily basis. When you wake up in the morning, asking that part of you to participate in your life in that day, so that you can have a deeper understanding, maybe a deeper compassion, maybe a deeper contribution. You may have something that takes that heart space and moves into your life in a bigger, deeper, broader, expansive way. There is a willingness in that higher self to contribute to you, to be part of your experience, to not be separate from. Hydrate. So there is a unification of this fourth rung in all those that are participating, all those that are listening, all those that are being in this white space at this particular time. And for us to embrace that word unification, and what does it mean to you? What does it mean to be unified, not only with your higher self, a higher vibration, a higher consciousness? What does it mean to be unified within a group? What does it mean to be unified as a species of humanity? Do you believe that it's possible with all the differences, with all the interpretations that have been chosen on your planet at this time for the experiences of being human? Can you allow and accept others that may be different from you in all areas, in all capacities, in their belief, in their gender, in their choices? Because your respect and your willingness to understand and accept and allow is all part of that heart space. It is all part of what we see of humanity that has been very different because it was given to you early on. Many of us multidimensionals have been separate from emotions for such a long time because we believed, or we were invited into the mental space of the creation of mentally creating and moving on and expanding and getting bigger. And for some of us, that heart space was left behind. But humanity had the opportunity initially to use that as a guide, to open it up, to feel something for others other than yourself. Understood?
Yes.
So in this next while you are on the fourth rung, we would encourage you to invite that higher frequency, that higher consciousness, that part of you that can participate at a level that expands you, perhaps even heals in some circumstances, because the knowledge base of that higher consciousness has a healing capacity. Understood?
Yes.
So inviting that part of you in. It is not separate from you anymore. That is not behind a veil. It is not disconnected. You cannot let go of it. You have agreed to bring it forward into this life, into your daily routine. In doing so, if that is the relationship that you are choosing, honor it. Just like you may have to and need to honor the fact of you live in this physical form and your body needs to be honored. So does this bringing in this other part of yourself needs to be honored on a regular basis. We would encourage you in this time when you are not in the white space to bring that part of you forward on a regular basis, whether that is in meditation to come to understand who you are better, to ask for something, to develop a relationship with. Agreed.
Yes.
We have several more rungs to go, and we will do this in the next sessions. Right now, we are pleased in your formatting, in your ability to participate at whatever level that you choose. We can tell you that we see your efforts. There is no judgment from us, that working within the white space provides an energy for you, whether you are realizing it or not. It surrounds you. We have spoken before, prior to the evolves, of the blue orbs. That is something that is consistent, that is in the white space, whether you picture it, whether you understand it, whether you have any knowledge or wisdom about the blue orbs, but they are around, they're cleaning, they're cleansing. They're moving you through energy that has been attached to your physical body, that has been attached to your energy field, known or unknown. So as we move out of this white space, being in gratitude, and we have our 3 statements that help us to leave this white space, to help us to be in alignment with multidimensionals, the evolves, all those that we invited in. I am fully committed to who I am and who I am becoming.
I am fully committed to who I am and who I am becoming.
I trust the truth of who I am and who I am becoming.
I trust the truth of who I am and who I am becoming.
And I maintain my integrity in all my co-creativity.
I maintain my integrity in all my co-creativity.
Take a breath in. And as we gather our energy together, as we gather ourselves together to back out of that portal, to humbly remove ourselves from that white space, knowing that anything that we left there, anything that is residual, anything that was healed stays in that white space, to be healed, to be another resource, to be changed, to have any transformation that would happen, that we have no attachment to that. And as we start to bring ourselves back into our physical form, taking a breath in and picture that energy of who we are coming down through the crown chakra, in the 3rd eye, coming into our throat space, expanding, dilating. You can even picture this total whiteness coming in that's cleansing, that is a new vibration. It's something for you to adapt to. It's something for you to heal from. It's something for you, and it's a gift, bringing that down into your heart space. Solar plexus, 2nd chakra, base chakra. And as you see that or feel, intuit, taking that whole core, that central channel, taking your right hand and closing counterclockwise, the space right above your crown chakra, allowing that disconnection from the white space, but still keeping you intact. And then running your right hand down in front of you, over each chakra, closing that off. So you're creating a contained energy in your central channel. Picturing you running your hand behind, closing that. Would encourage you to hydrate for the next half hour to an hour. There is a lot of energy that's expanded in this place, whether you feel it or not. So hydrating is a core piece of this work in order for you to be able to keep the frequency going and to align with it. And as you feel yourself more in your physical form, being present, feeling your feet, feeling your body. Take a deep breath in and you can open your eyes. Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. That was pretty wonderful. I really enjoy the idea of connecting more directly with my higher self, my higher consciousness. I am excited about this prospect.
Yeah, for me, it's taking a look at what was needed before we could even do that, right?
Right.
It's like, how do we participate outside of ourselves in contributing first? So that's like, that's for me, that's like a message to the universe that I'm present and I'm willing and I'm available to do for someone else other than myself.
Right.
And then our higher selves are more apt to come forward.
Right. It's perfect.
Well, thank you, Melissa.
Thank you, Darlene. Thank you, Evolve.
Yes. Thank you, Evolves, and all the multidimensional parts of ourselves that are here for us on a daily basis.
That's right.
Do we have any announcements?
Don't forget that you can contact Darlene at soulunion.com. You can have individual sessions. You can sign up for the Cosmic Travelers meeting that meets on the third Sunday of every month. It's an interactive meditation. It's similar to this, but with more information coming for you. So it's a beautiful thing. I highly recommend it. You can contact me at livingwellbeing.net. We're also on YouTube now. Look at the blurb below and you can see both of our YouTube channels. And I think that's all.
That's it. And remember, you know more than you know.